when we are doing spiritual practice, what are we basing ourselves? We are basing ourselves in these two truths, relative and absolute truth. That is what we based on. What do we use it? What do we use it? We will use wisdom and compassion. We will use wisdom and compassion as a way to achieve our goal. Based on this true truth and true wisdom and compassion, the ways and means of achieving our way, and result or the fruit level is mental state of total knowledge and the physical state of the total knowledge. And these are the three most important skeleton for our practice. What are we basing on? True truth. Relative and absolute truth. It's like a ground. And ground on which we stand. Ground on which we will function. Ground on which we are functioning, managing. How is the wisdom and the compassion? And this is we are talking about the Mahayana path, okay? Mahayana path. So this year I'm supposed to engage total Sunday on the Mahayana basis. So that's really what it is. Though I might have mentioned that before, I did. However, again, it is important. I'm repeating. So since we mentioned about the truth, and that came up relative truth, absolute truth. Relative truth is normally people accept. If there's 1,000 people who say this is right, and there's one person who say this is wrong, could be. You can't say totally wrong. Most probably wrong, because 999 people is wrong and one person right. Will be little difficult to swallow. That bullet is little difficult to swallow. But that's happened. You can't deny that either. But more or less, and that is what it is. And temporarily, if you don't accept, either you be another crazy sort of eccentric, or even people may look at you like fit to be institutionalized or something, but could be very genius, could be. But even then, normal way of functioning is, and that's what is supposed to be. Managing the relative truth and absolute truth is so important in our life. If you're done overly somewhere, and particularly very intelligent people, if you've done overly something, you get to the other side. You get over the other side. And if you are too hold back, your progress will be hold back. So that is very difficult, very tiny. But that problem is only for few people, not a majority. But then everybody would like to be one of those few people, right? All like to be. Everybody would like to be Mahasiddhas. So nobody would like to be common people. But common people have a lesser problem and a better advantage too. Because if you are up there all by yourself, you have a little danger too. So, but it's common, it's always a hitting under is very good. As long as you don't get rotten under the skin, but hitting under is always better. Always better. And that is the way how the bodhisattvas will go. I like to conclude today's talk by saying like this. Most important thing is a mind. And that also motivation. And that also the body mind. And that is always thinking of helping, serving, helping others. It is very important to think of helping poor, downtrodden, weak. Very important. But that should not be a reason to go against rich, upper, higher level, whatever you call it. In this society, we have all kind of variety. So some people, to protect lower, down, weaker, go against higher, richer, and all that. That's also wrong. Honestly, very wrong. And also following the buttering, wagging tail after the rich and the higher level and ignoring the poor difficulty is also absolutely wrong. So that means everywhere where you say, I like to be helpful, I like to help, there is a very important point of equality. No wonder why Buddha emphasized so much of the equanimity or equality. Equanimity or equality. I don't know. I don't think it is for me, it is my place to say. But I think all are equal. All are equal. Rich, poor, wise, not so wise, everything are really equal. Our mind is such that we will support one and then we will immediately pick up against the other. Without knowing, without realizing. And that, I think we are losing the basis of equanimity. We see very often we see. So that is not body mind. That is, again, that doesn't become compassion. It becomes something else. Even though it is for poor and the weak, or rich and whatever, power. whatever, the moment we are taking a side, we are losing the equality. The all, this A-L-L, all mother sentient being is lost for that individual. Moment we are taking side. So this type of thing happens in our life all the time. So alertness, awareness, conscientiousness, all must focus on that. And that's how we have to function. Motivation level. Then rest of them, compassion and love as sort of background fabric. If you're knitting something, the thread it goes in the line goes in, and that should be that compassion and the love. Then helping, generosity, morality, and all this, there's the fabric that goes sidewise, not from the straight, but sidewise. So that is how you knit. That's how you knit your, not knit, but you call this weave. That's how you weave your fabric cloth of a spiritual life in according to the Mahayana Buddha's teaching. Since we are talking this year Mahayana, thereafter I'm not going to repeat much Mahayana. It sounds a little funny. So to some people's eye, some people's ear, it sounds a little funny. So that's just how it is. So as we are, that's what we have to be aware every day. Your base is true truth. Your way is love and compassion. Your result is physical and mental state of total enlightenment. That's what we're looking. And how we're going with the motivation of body, mind, with equanimity as a base, equality as a base. If you lose the equality, and that is a problem. I mean, even in our society, people always wanted to be right. I mean, thinking about it, where I come from, what I come from, where I'm come from. And that is where this, of course, come from very old society, thousand years background. And then, I don't know whether it's dictatorial or feudal or whatever it is, we have a funny system where the poor have nothing to say, the rich have a lot of power, and the poor misuse it, and all that. And then, of course, came the revolution, and the communists came in. And when the communists came in, and then, of course, the rich and the upper becomes the target, and down becomes the sort of object, and the other one is become target, and the whole thing is reversed, pendulum swinged the other way. So then, again we created another, the suffering society, which happens to be the higher and the richer or whatever it is. And so then again the balance is lost. So all this will keep on going back and forth, the pendulum swing to the right and left, will keep on going all the time because of equality, equanimity is not being able to found. Equality, equanimity founded, they will establish stable ground. When the stable ground is, then most of our struggles and issues are on that basis. So this, the peace and the war is on that basis. So that's what we have to know. We have to be aware of it. So the motivation, the Buddha says motivation, right? And that is so important. When you begin to look in detail, these are what you see. On top of that, love. Also, equanimity-based love. If it is not equanimity-based love, it becomes attachment. It becomes obsession. It becomes sticky. So always good for all. Always kind for all. Always wanted to be great. No matter whoever it is, rich or poor, higher or lower, sick or healthy, whatever, always wanted to be. And that is really help. And helping others, on the other hand, you may think, well, I need to help others, but I need help. So how I help myself is helping you. In one hand, it looks like selfless, selfishless, dedicated, altruistic. But on the other hand, it is also very selfish, very, very self-service. Where and how you help yourself is where and how you help others. This is the only way to help yourself. Only way. Anything else you try to do will have a problem. This is the only way. So helping others is helping yourself too. So that is the true purpose. Purpose of others, purpose of self, completely able to fulfill by one action of yours. And that is how I said way, compassion and love is the way. What you hope to get or what you will get is the total enlightenment. Total enlightenment is nothing but total knowledge. Nothing more to learn, either is quality or knowledge. Knowledge produces quality. If you are intelligent enough. If you are not intelligent enough, knowledge produces information. Huge information. Huge database. Huge. What will happen? It will remain in box. No point. If you are intelligent, make that quality of yours. Becoming quality of yours becomes an interpersonal effect to the individual. That is the part of person. And these are the spiritual practices, my dear friends. Honestly, that's really what it is. I guess I said enough. And I should just say thank you.